Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, darling.
Appreciate.
I know you will never regret it. It's
Amen.
highly happening in the class of Steele. Many more packages. Yeah.
Amen.
We've been there for more than a year now.
Wow.
And every day we're enjoying it.
Amen.
Yes. And I want you to bring in other women. You are a regional leader in Church of God Mission. Big leader. Yeah, big leader.
No problem.
Thank you, darling. The class is about to. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
The class is about to start. Our bishop will be on. Will soon be on.
All right.
All right, guys, we're going on mute and we're getting ready to we get ready to jump straight into class this evening. It's lovely to see everyone. Your Excellency, Barrister Anthony, wish you're looking as sharp as ever in your green this evening. I'm going to turn off your camera, I promise. So too much competition, too much. Flavia, it's good to see you, Flavia. Come on, everybody, the class of Steve. Welcome everybody. Come on, give everybody their welcome. They deserve it now. Come on. The Golden Eagle is in the house this evening. Yes. Golden Eagle. Hey. All right. Let me get ready to start the recording to the cloud. My darling First Lady, are you on? Jeannie, where are you? The First Lady is going to be joining us shortly. Doreen, you're looking as sharp as ever in red, though. Red suits you very fine, Doreen. Look at your smile in red. I'm telling you, I want to see the Golden Eagle in something red. Golden Eagle, I really look forward to see. I want to see you in something red, to see what red does to you. I'm challenging you, Golden Eagle. I know you look and you say, hey, that don't, Golden Eagle, talk to me. Say something to me this evening, Golden Eagle. Greet the class this evening. How are you this evening?
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate the class tonight. I'm excited being in the class this night. I think everybody is on red. Pastor Victoria is in her normal dress. Our queen.
Yes.
Dress. Yeah, she's looking powerful, looking first lady of the Faith Evangelical Mission. God bless you, man. All of us are looking powerful. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to receive powerful things from the Lord tonight through our mentor, Dr. Steele. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I promise by next week I should have a red suit.
Yeah, wear something.
I will appear red. Doreen is in red. Dr. Steele is in red. Next week I will be on red. Thank you so much.
I feel what we should do is we should have a red night out.
Exactly.
So next Friday, is it next Friday? Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday.
What? Today is Monday. No, not next. This Friday coming. Friday is red night out. Friday is red night out. So wear your best red suit and look good in red. Let's give a test. How many of you are afraid of red? I see Barista is looking quiet. Barista, are you a red person now? You're red, Barista. Very good.
I just want you to get better. I want you to live longer.
All right. So this evening we are talking about we're looking this evening at time managing. And I put together a slideshow. First Lady, I'm sorry. Good evening, First Lady Jeannie. How are you this evening, my beautiful darling?
Greetings to everyone and a pleasant good night.
Good night, my darling. Keep speaking because everybody's on mute. You're welcome. Keep speaking. Talk to us. How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you. And I can see everyone else is doing wonderful too, because they're very bright faces, very beautiful ladies, and very handsome gentlemen. And Barrister, as usual, in his bow tie, looking all dapper, as well as His Excellency Braitoso, all dapper in their bow ties. And Mama Victoria, beautiful as usual. I love your outfit. God bless you all. Very good to see you. I hope that you all would enjoy this evening's session. And for the rest of the week, I believe His Excellency Bishop Steele will be speaking on time and giving you a lot of wonderful tips on how to manage time. Maybe some things that you've thought of and things that you haven't thought of before. So I pray that they'll be very helpful to you.
Well, my dear, thank you so very much for popping in. I wonder why you refer to me as Your Excellency, honey and boo and my darling, but Your Excellency. Arr. Thank you so very much. Come on, let's celebrate the First Lady this evening. Thank you so very much, my darling. We all love and appreciate you very much for your hard work and putting all of these presentations together. It's a good thing. I think we are a good team. We are a good team. All right. So this evening we're looking at time management, and I want you to take some very good notes actually, because in the light of what we're discussing, it's going to be very, very, very helpful. The little points are going to be good to remember. So let me share my screen share. Yes. All right. So everybody's seeing my screen okay? All is well? All right. So we start this evening's class with time tracker, hourglass and time tracker, managing our time wisely. And why we started it this way with an hourglass is because I want us to always be mindful of time. Now hear this, because it's very important. This is very important. How many of you know that if I start the class of Steele 1 minute late, I am real uncomfortable? How many of you know that about me? If you know that about me, I'm very annoyed and edgy. As a matter of fact, you might not see the First Lady calming me and saying, darling, it's going to be okay. It's just a minute. It's just 2 minutes. But over the years, I want to bring acknowledgement to the Reverend Dr. Holmes Williams, who is the late, my bishop, that I was raised on his ministry for over 20 years. And in the 20 years plus that I was a part of the ministry, we church on Sunday mornings, Sunday evening, and then we had Wednesday night Bible study and Friday night prayer meetings. And then we had the youth fellowship. I want to share this with you. We have never really started late. I do not remember a time that our church service have started late. I do not. I'm telling you, I do not remember a time starting late. Special events, sir, I do not remember a time starting late, because our pastor, our bishop, was a stickler for time. And as a result of that, I can say I am not a person who is usually late for meetings and appointments. And I will confess, I have a very, very low tolerance for individuals who show up late. I have a very, very low tolerance for them. And the reason is because I believe that everybody's time is so important. How many of you are with me? Everybody knows exactly what they want to accomplish and why they want to accomplish it and why they set the meeting at 9 o'clock and not 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock and not 7. And the reason why I want us in the class of Steele to be a shining light of time managers. You're not responsible for how others respond time-wise. You are not. And I do not want any of you in the class of Steele to treat people according to how they behave with time. Some of you have individuals who do not show up early. And as a result, you punish them or you just naturally don't show up early because it's just the way it is. Are you hearing me? And I want to share this with you. That's not a good example to set for yourself, because equally they will look at you and they will say, you do not manage time well. How many of you get what I'm saying? You will not challenge them when you show up late, just like them. You will not challenge them. And I want for you in the class of Steele to be very, very mindful of time all the time. Not some of the times, all of the times. As a matter of fact, if you get to the place where you manage time so well, you will have individuals showing up early. Because when individuals show up late, you reprimand them or you punish them. How do I mean by reprimand them or punish them? If you go to a meeting at 8 o'clock and persons show up at 8:30 and the meeting is for 1 hour, then you give them half hour of your time. Are you with me? You give them half an hour of your time. They wanted an hour, but I'm sorry. I have a 9 o'clock appointment. And you start to manners individuals, manners them. You have to be a professional with your time. If you are not a professional with your time, you will be taken for granted. You will not be taken serious. And people that are busy with schedules will not schedule you in their program if you're not good with time. I really want to drive that home. I am confident that if I come to the class of Steele at 2 minutes to 8 o'clock London time, and I don't see nobody, it does not bother me. Why? Because the members of the class of Steele know that at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be here. How many of you know that? Come on, wave at me. How many of you know that? And do you know what? You guys are so confident that I'm going to be here at 8 o'clock that if at 2 minutes past 8, you all don't see me, you all start sending messages. Bishop, where are you? Bishop, is there no class today? At 2 minutes past 8. Because you have become professional. You have learned how to manage the time wisely. So let's go on to slide number 2. Stay on top of time. You have to. Remember, I do not ever wear a watch. I don't wear a watch. My wife would tell you, she has bought me watches, beautiful, nice watches. And my wife will tell you, Jeannie, where is the watch? First lady, where is the watch?
To be honest, I am not sure where it is at the moment. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. You don't, yeah, you're not one of those persons. I've learned that the hard way.
But wait a minute, your first lady, am I ever late for appointments by deliberately, or do I always show up early?
Yes, you're always early. I am sure many people can testify to that.
Okay. I do not like watches. I don't like watches, but I always like to know the time. I'm if you get what I'm saying. I do not like a watch, but I always like to know what time it is. Because if I know I have an appointment at 8 o'clock, I have my phone and I look at my phone and I see, Michael, you have 5 more minutes. I look at the computer, Michael, you have 3 minutes. I'm always aware of what time it is. Stay on top of time. Always. I am always aware of time because I know that I have meetings and appointments that are set in stone for years. And all of you have meetings and appointments, but I am going to hammer it in tonight. I do not want you to be late. I want you to be outside sitting, waiting, and have individuals wanting to know if you don't have anything to do. And it's not that you don't have anything to do, it is that you are practicing and you are perfecting managing your time. Are you hearing me? You are practicing and perfecting managing your time. I remember I'm really focusing on it this evening. I want to get it home. I want it to be nailed in us. Because when you show up late, you take advantage of somebody else. And some of you would find that when I have conversations, you would notice when you speak to me, I am quick to say, okay, Doreen, let's talk a little bit later. Why am I doing that? It's not because I'm running you off the phone. Okay, Your Excellency Donald Ewers, because we are the persons that we're always talking. We're always talking. But His Excellency Donald will say to you, I know he's always running off the phone. Come on, Your Excellency, I want you to confess. Talk to me because I want us to be on the same page. Your Excellency, you know me.
Yes, sir, I confirm, sir. Always on time, even the very first time we met in Woolwich. Do you remember that? Catch you off guard. Our very first meeting was in Woolwich, sir, and you were on time. So that speaks volume.
So we always are in a position where persons get to know us because we respect their time. And when I'm having conversations, you will hear me say, okay, let me go. Why? Because it is somebody else's time that is coming up. Are you with me? Somebody else's time is coming up. So I am going to put you in your place and say, I cannot speak with you any longer. Why? Because somebody else's turn is coming. Always be a stickler for time. Always. And there are individuals who will always ask me, what time can I meet you next week? And I have to say to Jeannie, darling, do I have any appointments next week that I can fit this person in? Why? Because I am on top of time and Jeannie is with me. Jeannie is making sure that she is on top of time for me as well. All right? So stay on top of time. Now, this is very important. The benefits of managing your time. I want us to look at these benefits because it's important. You are punctual and disciplined. The key and the operative word that I want to come out is disciplined. You are punctual and disciplined. You become more organized. You learn to fit things in a time frame, in a schedule. You learn how to organize your time. For example, a lot of you might not be aware, but the past couple of weeks, I started to become not burnt out, but I started to need to relax. How many of you get what I'm saying? I was having meetings in all sorts of times, and I discovered that my body would not go to sleep. I would not sleep because my brain was always working. I was studying. I was on 100 phone calls a day. I was in discussions continually. I was in meetings that jumped into other meetings, and I was really, really becoming overwhelmed. And I had to say, you know what, Michael, you got to start organizing your time. You do not have no time for relaxation. Absolutely none. You do not relax. You do not have a time where you could concentrate on other things. You do not, Michael, and you've got to stop that. And I decided that I'm going to do something new. I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, and change the mode of how I operate. So I decided to speak to one of my nephews, and my nephew he plays a game. And I decided to learn how to play this game. Oh my goodness. So I have started to play a game. I'm going to tell you what that game is one of these days, because some of you might not be impressed with your bishop playing that game. So one of these days I'll tell you. But I started to have a time set apart for play. How many of you get what I'm saying? Because when you're playing or you're joking or you're having a laugh, your mind is relaxing. You're relaxing yourself. So you're becoming more organized. It boosts your morale and self-confidence when you manage your time. You feel very, moral. You feel like a upstanding citizen, a upstanding person. It gives you a moral boost when individuals can count on you. When individuals know that if you tell them, I will meet you at XYZ time and you are there, it makes you feel good as a person. When you have an interview, when you show up on time, you feel good about yourself. When you sit down and you look that 15 minutes before the meeting, you're in the waiting room of the CEO or the director or the bank manager, whoever it is, it boosts your morale. You feel very good about yourself. Staying close to your time plan can cause you to realize your goals and objectives. How many of you hear people say, oh, there's not enough time in a day? Well, there's not enough time in a day 90% of the times for persons who do not manage their time. There's not enough time in a day for those persons. Some individuals, if I tell you, call me on Sunday at 3 p.m., it is because that's your time slot. If you call me at 4 p.m., you might have problems. If you call me at 2 p.m., I might be annoyed. Why? Because I know what I was doing at 2 p.m. I told you to call me at 3. Are you hearing me? If you have a 15-minute slot of time with me that I'm going to give you, and you call me outside of your 15-minute slot, I am going to be annoyed, because when my phone rings with somebody else that you're now in their slot, I'm going to share this with you. I want to share this with you. My wife, when we were having Josh, her gynecologist is one of the most professional men I have ever met. He is from my alumni in Barbados. I went to the Lord School in Barbados, and I want to, as they would say in this language, I want to give acknowledgement to the Lord School fraternity in Barbados, where I attended, our alumni. But when we were having appointments with him, he has half-hour appointments for his clients, half hour. If you miss your half hour, you're going to have problems if you show up late. And then when my wife was on the maternity ward, He has so many patients on the ward that he shows up on time. He is never late. He is never late. When you are one of his clients, he is never late. And I was so impressed. Come on, somebody. How many of you have somebody that is never late that impresses you? I'm talking to us. Come on, I'm talking to us. Let those characteristics of individuals impress you, because when those characteristics impress you, they cause you to step up your game. I'm talking to you in the class this evening. They cause you to say, I want to be like that. I want individuals to say that about me. I want individuals to be proud of me. You become a better planner and forecaster. Well, this is supposed to take me a week, but I don't know. You know, I was doing this and then that happened and then this happened and you know what? Bad time management creates a horrible ripple effect. I'll say that again. Bad time management creates a horrible ripple effect. If you do not follow time and stick to time, the ripple effect on the person that is expecting you to be there, for the persons who are expected to have you present, is horrible. Are you hearing me? The men's group of the class of Steele and the ladies group, we had our conference and every single person was on point because we demand you stay in time. I get very annoyed. I get annoyed with individuals who show up late. I'm gonna keep saying it. I get annoyed. I want you to feel it. If nobody never told you it, if you did not have a master in class or a teacher or a mentor that told you, I am annoyed when you show up late, I'm going to tell you, I am ashamed of individuals who don't show up on time. I am annoyed with you. And I want to hammer it home to you in the class of Steele. This is a mentoring class. And there's some points that individuals do not take serious. If you sit under this class today and you feel annoyed with me and you feel overwhelmed, I want you to consider, are you a stickler for time? Or do you manage time poorly and blame it on everybody else? Do you go somewhere and expect it to be there on a time and you don't show up? I want to punish you today. I want to be the crack on your back. You need to change it. And you need to prioritize and show up on time. If you cannot do it, I'm sorry, I cannot do it. But if you say you're going to do it and you say what time you're going to do it, come on, class of Steele, show up. Give me a wave if you agree with me. Come on, wave at me if you agree with me. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blessing to you. International people are going to respect you. And when people show up late, reprimand them. Look at your time and your watch and says, please, I have an appointment at 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and I was supposed to meet you at 9. I don't have very much time left. Manners, individual. Do not let individuals think that showing up late is beautiful. When I go to Nigeria and I have to minister, I would never forget. It was funny to me. I'm going to share this with you. Reverend Bright, you can remember. I was with Reverend, and they were preaching and they were sharing, and they brought me, and Reverend Bright, you remember I came on, I was supposed to come on at, Reverend Bright, come on, unmute yourself, Your Excellency, unmute yourself. I was supposed to come on at 10 o'clock. I'm just using an example because I don't remember the exact time, but let's use 10 o'clock. I went 10:25, I was not on as yet. And I said to Reverend Bright, my time is for 1 hour, and I'm going to give you the remainder of my hour. Is that not correct, Your Excellency?
Very correct, very correct. It was you have 1 hour to reach, and you came a little bit late, and then instead of exhausting the 1 hour, so you only spent the remaining time in the 1 hour. And
Your Excellency, you said I came late. Don't say I came late. Say the persons that were speaking. No. Let me say. Say the persons that were speaking went over their time into my time, and therefore.
Yeah. I think let me. I got it. No, there was a time Pastor Tex brought you late, and you kept to that, and then there was another time the speaker that ministered before you came took part of your time, and then what you did, you forfeited. In fact, you forfeited your entire time to him. You remember that night? You forfeited your entire time because you took almost 30 minutes in your time, and you just told him continue.
Carry on.
And then he continued the time. Yeah. I think that then it was Pastor Tao Dina.
Because you were supposed to pick me up, and I'm seated, dressed, booted, and suited, and you show up late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Come on, somebody. Are you hearing me? This is your mentor, and you're hearing people that are saying that's how I operate. Because if you show up to pick me up late, you are insulting me. You tell me get ready for 9 o'clock. And if you show up at 11 o'clock, you are insulting me. You're not respecting me. Come on, somebody. Am I talking okay here? Am I talking okay? If you tell me you're going to pick me up at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be ready at 8:45 for you. And if you show up at 10:30, I am going to be so annoyed with you. Don't play with my time. I'm a businessman. I'm a professional. And if you bring me on your pulpit and I'm supposed to speak for 9 o'clock, from 9 till 9:45, my brain and my mind is prepared for 9 o'clock to 9:45. Don't bring me on at 9:30 and then my mind is already closed off at 9:45. I will give you the 15 minutes that is available. I do not play. Barrister. Come on, Barrister, unmute yourself, Barrister. Barrister, unmute yourself. I see you there quiet. Barrister, you're laughing, Barrister. Barrister, tell me why you're laughing. Please tell us why you're laughing.
I suppose I want to believe I have an idea of what you want to ask me when you came to my place. But it was wonderful. It was wonderful, and the timing as well. I think they brought you a little bit late, and but you delivered, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. We needed more of you because it was out of the. Thank you so much. Looking for you, your dance, you were yourself. Oh my God, you were something else. God really used you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
You're welcome, Your Excellency. Listen, I don't want to harp on it anymore, but have you realized that these are individuals from different places in different times, and they are saying the same thing about me? His Majesty the King showed up to meet with me, and when His Majesty showed up, I was on time in London. It had nothing to do with traffic. It had nothing to do with anything. I was on time. Why? You have to be focused on people's time and respect it. Don't play games. As a member of the class of Steele, I promise you, if you travel with us and you show up late, I will have the security telling you the bus left at 8 p.m. and the bishop said to you, please make your way back to the hotel safely. Do not show up late. Don't play games. Oh, I was in the mall and I had to get this. I couldn't. Put it back down and leave. If you see the line is long at the counter, put it back down and leave, because you will get left in the lobby. You will get left at the waiting place at the hotel when you come to meet with us. I do not play with time. Your Excellency, Doreen, hear it, mark it, note it, let everybody know it. I do not play with time. I get frustrated. Thank you so very much. If you manage your time well, it reduces your stress and anxiety. Did you hear that? The most important attribute of time management is it reduces your stress and anxiety. Why? If you're going to meet with the President of the United States of America, I'm talking to you, and the President of the United States of America's protocol, the protocol sends you a letter, and the letter say you must arrive 1 hour prior to your meeting. Are you with me? You must arrive 1 hour prior to your meeting. Why is that? It doesn't matter why it is. It is that because that's the way it is. You must arrive 1 hour prior to meeting with the president. I'm just giving you an example. If you show up 20 minutes prior to meeting the president, guess what will happen? They will say you missed your appointment. Why? Because the security clearance that you have to go through takes 1 hour. Are you with me? The security clearance that you have to go through on the ground is done with military precision. How many of you heard the word military precision? It is done with military precision. So when you show up, somebody is going to say, it is good to meet you. They're right there waiting to meet you and receive you. And they walk you to point number A. And then they walk you to point number B to pick up your pass. And then they walk you to point number C to get your eye scan, your fingerprint, and to log you in. And then they walk you to point number C and say, here is the appointment for the president. And then the president will come and meet you at the appointed time. How many of you get what I'm saying? Can you imagine knowing all of that and you are running late? What's going to happen if you're running late? Oh my goodness. Hey, it took me 8 months to meet the president. Hey, hey, yeah. Driver, please, driver, hurry. You're freaking out with the driver. You're freaking out with the traffic on the road. You're freaking out with your clock. You're blaming your wife for not polishing your shoes. You're blaming your children for wanting to hug and cuddle at the last minute. Come on, somebody. How many of you get what I'm saying? Your stress level is so high and you're so anxious. And then when you get there and you find out that the president cannot see you after waiting 8 months for an appointment, my goodness, then the world is at your mercy. So managing your time is important. I will take my time in hammering home this point to you today because I want you to get it. You become good at prioritizing tasks and activities. You become very good. I have some individuals who know me so well that if I tell them to call me in 10 minutes, I promise you, no matter what they're doing, they call me because they know that if they call me after the 10 minutes, they're going to get call declined. Call declined. Why are they going to get call declined? Because I am now managing somebody else. So I have to decline their call. And then they say to individuals, hey, he's declining my calls. I don't understand. Why did you decline my call? I was calling you and you declined my call. You called me late. That's why you called me late. I told you, call me in 5 minutes. And you said you will call me in 5 minutes. Are you hearing me? Do not let fight. When I'm in Nigeria, oh, Reverend Bright, I have so many comedy stories. And the class of Steele, you guys are so amazing. I think everybody is surprised with you guys in the class of Steele. Because when I was there and somebody says, oh, don't worry, I'm right around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm right around the corner. And an hour later, they're still around the corner. I'm not sure which corner, but they're still around the corner. Come on. If I'm telling the truth, wave at me. If I am telling the truth, wave at me. Please, wave at me if I'm telling the truth, if you know people like that. And it makes you so angry. I don't tolerate it. Don't practice it if you're going to be globally relevant. Don't practice it. Don't practice it if you're going to call yourself an ambassador under the class of Steele. Do not practice it. Don't play those games. It's not funny. And we do not take you professional. If you are in the class of Steele and you're one that is being mentored by me and you show up late, you're making my face look bad. Because I tell individuals they are one of mine and they know time. They know how to manage their time, and he will show up. Don't worry. He will call you. If he says he will call you at 9 o'clock, you will get a call. That's how I represent you. That's how I will present you. Don't make my face look bad. Don't make the class of Steele look bad with your lateness or your lack of respect for other people's time. Don't pretend you're a member of the class of Steele sitting under my mentorship. Don't pretend. Because my mentorship does not tolerate that. Are you here? Come on, are you hearing me? I want you to get it. It's important you understand those principles. If you go to any place in the world and you say, I'm a member of the class of Steele, there's some things that people are going to expect from you. Oh, he's a time manager. He knows how to manage his time. He's going to show up on time. Oh, they don't give him 15 minutes to preach, and he preaches for 1 hour and a half and has people tired. This is our class, and this is mentoring. So I reserve the right to go over based on the fact that we're in a mentoring class. Are you with me? But when we are in a situation where we decide that this is the time frame, then we manage it professionally all the time. We have to. And I want you to be aware of that. You become good at prioritizing tasks and activities. So here is another outlook for you that I really want you to grasp this one. Okay? I want you to grasp this one. Time is a resource. It is a resource. Time is an important resource. Let me explain what I mean when I say time is a resource. So money or currency is a resource. Are you with me? It's a resource. If you have currency and you want to purchase something, you need enough currency to get it. Wave at me if you get what I'm saying so far. I want you to get it, because I really want you to look at time in a different way. I'm focusing on time this week. It's a resource. So if you have $10, you can buy $10 worth of product. Are you with me? You cannot get $11 worth of product for $10. You cannot. You cannot. So therefore, when you have 1 hour of time for anything, whatever it is, when you have 1 hour, that is the resource that is allocated to you. And what do you need to do? You need to manage your resources. Are you hearing me? Time is a resource. If you have 1 hour, you have to manage it. Time is an important resource, and respect for time can boost effectiveness and profitability. So time management is a critical skill, very critical skill. Your attitude towards time, because it's a resource, you need to have an attitude towards it. Treat it personable. Treat it respectfully, honorably. Treat it with gratitude, with thanks. A lot of individuals are alive today, and you will hear them. Oh, the years have gone so quickly. What have I done with my time? Every gravestone has something that I want to share with you. You will hear 1937 to 2020. And you see a dash between there. You know what that dash is? That dash is time. That's what that dash is, time. Between this time and that time. And no matter how long you live, your tombstone will have that little dash. How many of you get what I'm saying? That little dash. As great as you are, as long as you lived, you will only have a representation of a little dash. What does it mean? It means that that space that you have is so important. You have to manage it well. I will confess. How many of you think that I behave like a robot? Somebody called me at 5:30 this morning, at 5:30 a.m. this morning, and I answered the phone. And this is how they said to me. He said to me, I know that you would be awake. I know that you would be awake and you would be there. Why? Because I have to manage my time. Minister Ewers could confidently call me sometimes at 1:30 a.m. And I can call him sometimes at 1:30 a.m. Why? Because we know that we are so busy. We have so much to accomplish. We are working. Am I talking right, Your Excellency, Minister Ewers? We are working. We've got things to accomplish. Some of you, if I make the mistake and I call you at 9 o'clock in the night or 10 o'clock in the night, you're already out. So you want to know why am I calling you so late in the night? And I have to apologize humbly because your day has ended. So you're finished. But your attitude towards time, those who are more successful, they have a positive attitude to the process. Because you see, time is a part of the process. Time is an important part of the process. Whatever you're doing, time is a resource in the process. Consider the time implications of everything and work to get as close as possible to your time arrangement. Those individuals, they work for a time arrangement. Habit. Habit. You should write that word in the chat. Habit of time. Habit of time. Consider time and its management a habit. The process of getting to grips with managing time effectively will take conscious effort, but when established as a good working habit, it will become easier. It is easy for me to be on time. It is easy. The reason why it is easy is because it has become a habit. It has become a way of life for me. Military precision, military awareness, plan and work. List the tasks you have to perform. List them. My wife is such a time manager. Oh, I'm telling you the honest truth. God gave me the right wife. God gave me the right wife. I'm telling you the truth. God gave me the right companion. First Lady Jeannie is such a time manager that, to be quite honest with you, when I slacken up with time, First Lady Jeannie hammers me with my own protocol. Hammers me. Oh, darling, remember you are never late. Oh, darling, remember. How many of you know you need that type of person in your arsenal? You need somebody in your arsenal that does not tolerate slackness. Are you with me? You need somebody like that. Reverend Bright, you need to have somebody that's going to tell you, baby, come on now. You got to step up your game. Flavia, you need somebody that's going to tell you, Flavia, why are you late today? You should not be late. You need it. You need it. You need it. You need to have that in your arsenal because it strengthens you. You need to create some habits. Every time I'm preaching and ministering, I look and I know that right now it's 8:53 and this class is supposed to finish at 9:15, 9:30, the latest. So I'm always watching time. And when 9 o'clock comes, I'm going to say, can I have a few more minutes? Why? Because I'm watching the time. Are you hearing me? I am looking at the time. That's how I know what time it is. I don't wear a watch, but I'm always watching the time. There's no clock in my wife will tell you there's a clock that is here that my wife put there and I don't even look. I don't even realize the clock is there. My wife is the person who puts the clock there, but I don't even look at it. I don't look at it because I am so focused. I am so mentally poised on time. As a matter of fact, the universe seems to know how I behave with time, that when I show up and I look and I tell individuals when they're taking me somewhere, we are going to arrive at this time, and they're driving. And the GPS says a different time, but I tell them what time they're going to arrive. And they arrive on the time that I say and not the time that their GPS say. Jeannie, is that not true? Talk to me, Jeannie. I need you to be interactive with me here this evening. Isn't it true, darling, that we are inside of the Uber and the Uber says that I'm going to show up late? And I tell the Uber driver, I am never late, and we show up on the time that I tell the Uber driver. Darling, is that not true?
That's correct.
And the Uber driver wants to know how I can be better than Google. Is it not true, my darling?
Yes, you make the guy sweat.
Why? Because when you are so like, the universe looks at you and says, oh my goodness. Do you know what? I even remember when I was late for a flight. The flight just waited for me because I said, I will not miss that flight because I got into trouble and they waited for me. Why? Because you got to control time. Control time. Come on, say to myself, I must start controlling time. Say that to yourself. I must start controlling time. You've got to control time. Command the universe to respect you. Command the universe to make. My God, how many of you know that there was a battle going on and the man of God stopped the sun? How many of you get what I'm saying? He stopped the sun in its place. Why? Because time is at your control. You've got the power to manage it. I want to push this in you this evening. Don't tolerate anybody that shows up late. Don't tolerate anybody that doesn't respect time. Don't even tolerate the universe for not showing up on time. Get powerful and serious when it comes to time. I want you. Take it serious. Assign them priorities, all of your tasks. Do what the plan says. Stick to the plan. And then remember and recognize that time is a major asset. Efficient time management is an asset to your productivity and effectiveness. To effectively manage our time, we must know where it goes. You see, I have 3 more minutes. I want to share this with you. I have 3 more minutes, and watch what I'm going to do in 3 minutes. Yes? You have to effectively know where it goes. List the tasks you are currently doing and put them into categories along with an accurate or estimate time spent in each area. Job or business, chores, telephone calls, meetings, socializing. Put everything in a time. When I am reserved in my play mode and I'm chilling, I do not tolerate individuals calling me about business or anything else. As a matter of fact, nobody calls me while I'm in my playtime. Nobody. My wife will tell you, when I'm in my play zone, I lock off. I don't notice anybody. Joshua is the only person that I notice, and my wife. They're the only people, because that's the time when I am unwinding, when I'm releasing my frustrations, when I'm having a laugh, when I'm joking, when I'm showing individuals another side of me that one day I'm going to share it with you. And you're going to say, do you have time for this? How could you have time for this? Because I manage my time. That's how I have time for it. You see, socializing is included. You have to have time for socializing. Use a time log for a more accurate picture. Record everything you do throughout the day for a week and then longer. See how much time is spent on all aspects of your day. Schedule. The time is now 8:59. We're doing well. To effectively manage our time, we must set clear objectives. Your objectives should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. Now, it's now 9 o'clock, and we're going to go on for the next 15 minutes. I'm going to close at 9:15 this evening. I'm going to bring this session to a close at 9:15. How many of you are okay for me to go on for the next 15 minutes? Are you okay? Wave at me if I'm okay. I can see your faces now. Wave at me. I can see you. I can see you. Okay, so we're going to go on for the next 15 minutes. Thank you so very much, Lucy. And Lucy, it's a pleasure to have you in the class, so Steele. I heard Her Excellency Victoria Okedare welcoming you. Come on, everybody, let's welcome Lucy to the class this evening. You're welcome in the class, so Steele. You're not going to regret being here because this is where it's happening. All right, set clear objectives. Be specific. Be very specific with what you are going to be accomplishing. Be specific. What do I expect to accomplish in this time? Be measurable. Measure the time. This is supposed to take 1 hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Measure it. Measure it. And try to stick to it. Practice sticking to it. Practice fitting into the time that you've given to a situation or a time. Practice it. Make sure it's achievable. Make sure that it's possible, achievable. Make sure that it's realistic. I want you to be realistic. Oh, don't say that it's going to take me 2 minutes. Oh, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Stop telling lies. It's not possible. You're not going to be there in no 2 minutes. Respect the number that is put on time now. Please Stop lying. You know you're not going to be there in 2 minutes. Reverend Bright, don't say 2 minutes. Tell them not to tell me 2 minutes. Barrister, you're in the dark. Barrister, tell them not 2 minutes. You know it's not going to take 2 minutes. Oh, Bishop, I'm going to call you in 5 minutes. How could you call me in 5 minutes with an hour and a half agenda? And then I'm sat waiting for you in 5 minutes. Don't do it. Doreen, don't do it. Don't say, I know. Don't say I'm going to see you in 5 minutes. You can't make it in 5 minutes. It is not possible. And if it is not possible, tell me half an hour. Tell me an hour. But don't tell me 5 minutes and have me expecting 5 minutes. Be realistic. Because when you're realistic, it matches with that other characteristic called honesty. Man, don't wait him, man. He tell you 2 minutes, he's a liar. He tell you 2 minutes what? He's telling pure lies. I bet you he's not going to show up in the 2 minutes. All right, watch me then. Watch. And you set your time for 2 minutes and then you realize, guess what? He didn't show up. See what I told you? He's a liar. You're a liar. You don't tell the truth. Come on, am I making sense what I'm saying here? Am I making sense? You're telling lies. Oh, the cab is 2 minutes away. Stop telling lies. Tell the truth. You are a liar. You call yourself a Christian or a person of integrity and you're a liar. If you are in the class of Steele and you want to represent me, tell the truth. I'm sorry, but due to circumstances beyond my control, I'm running extremely late. How far away are you? I'm about 20 minutes away. Make it the truth. Be timed. Because when you are timed, it means that things will work out in your favor. With that being said, I'm going to close this evening, and I said 15 minutes, so I'm going to open the class for questions and answers if you have any questions for me, because I don't want to go on beyond that time because I'm going to do part 2 on Wednesday. Are you with me? How many of you think that was a good class this evening? Was that good? All right. Are there any questions for me? Any questions? Any questions on how to, where to, what to? Any questions?
There was one question by Amy. I'm not seeing her any longer. I guess she dropped out of the class. Her question was, however, how do you deal with someone who called to excuse themselves for a mishap that may have happened, hence it caused them to be late?
Okay. Hun, could you kindly do that again? I'm gonna confess, I was trying to read the chat and listen to you at the same time, and I missed it.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. So if you're reading it from the chat,
I didn't find it. I didn't find it. Let me see.
Okay. And she
okay, I see it. How
do
do
you
you deal with someone who called to excuse themselves for a mishap that may have happened, hence causing them to get late? Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have learned to respect culture. It sounds so bad. It sounds so bad. But I have learned to respect culture. Are you hearing me? Individuals, sometimes you go to a culture where individuals are late and it's normal for them. It's not abnormal. It is horrible to deal with. It really is horrible to deal with. Can you imagine me dressed in a suit in Nigeria and it's hot and I'm outside stood waiting for somebody to pick me up and they're an hour late and there's no signal on the phone? It could be uncomfortable. And then when you show up and you are late because they are late, you reprimand the person and you humbly create an environment of making sure it doesn't happen a second time. Are you hearing me? You reprimand the person, because you can't have somebody showing up late and you just sit down comfortable as if everything is okay. You can't. You just can't. Because it means that you are creating a tolerance for a behavior that is unacceptable. And if it is a practice that is unacceptable, you can't be comfortable. But culturally, sometimes you have to show respect for the culture. And you have to eat humble pie. Sometimes you just have to eat humble pie. There are lots of things that have happened to me as a result of working with individuals who do not hold to time and who do not do what they say they will do. And as a result of that, I'm going to be honest with you, I have disassociated myself from individuals who do not keep to their word. I had to, because it makes my brand look bad. Are you hearing me? Come on, somebody, are you hearing me? If somebody persistently makes your brand looks bad with regards to your time management, you have no choice but to disassociate yourself. I'm talking to you plain and blank. I don't care who I'm offending. And when I say I do not care who I'm offending, what I mean by that is that if you do not manage your time with me professionally, you are offending me. And I don't treat you with regard, because at the end of the day, I deal with professionals. I deal with individuals who operate with military precision. I deal with individuals who book their flights based on your word. Don't let them show up, and when they show up, you have a different agenda and a different schedule. Reverend Bright, you know when I show up, you are never late for me. You are there the day before to pick me up, because you know I am a man of my word, Reverend Bright. Barrister, you know I'm a man of my word. Minister Ewers, know I am a man of my word. Minister Ewers will tell you, we do not have to make an appointment twice. If he told me next week, I'm going to see you at 5 p.m. in Leicester Square. At 5 p.m., I'm going to be at Leicester Square, and we don't have to talk anymore. He don't have to call and ask me, are you still going to come? Are you still going to show up? Did I call you and tell you I'm not coming? Did I call you and tell you I'm not showing up? So if you have individuals that don't respect time, they are going to cause you embarrassment. Listen to me. In the class of Steele, they will embarrass you. They will destroy your reputation. Listen to me. They will destroy the people that trust you. Because time management is so important. I want to beat it. I want to hammer it. I want to knock it. I want to get it in you. I want to offend you. I want to upset you. I want to annoy you with time. Because if you do not understand it and you tolerate individuals on your team, you tolerate individuals in your group, you tolerate individuals in your organization that do not respect time, you will have problems in your down line or your up line. Because it causes a horrible ripple effect. If you have individuals that do not do what they say they're going to do, oh my God, it destroys you. It destroys you. Right now, I am suffering the consequences of individuals who say they are going to do something and they did not do what they're going to say. And I am suffering consequences, bad, horrible consequences as a result. To the point where I have cut off loads of individuals. Loads of individuals, I cut them off. Don't make me look bad. Your time management, your what you say you're going to do. You have to. You have to. Because it's important. Are you, come on, class of Steele. Wave at me if I'm hammering you hard, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Wave at me, come on, wave at me. Don't sit down and look at me like I'm a bad mentor. Wave at me, please. I want you to grasp it. You make somebody look bad when you do not hold your part of the bargain. You do, you do, you do. You can't call yourself an ambassador and a diplomat and don't respect time, don't respect protocols. That's why you're an ambassador, because you're expected to respect it to the highest level. You make people angry because of your character of impeccable behavior. You make people upset and annoyed because you are on time. There's some individuals that persons will not have time for you. The time is now 9:13, and I know I said I'm going to go on till 9:15, but I'm passionate about this. I am passionate about this. If I give you my time to mentor you, Her Excellency Doreen will tell you, I'm her mentor, and she will tell you how much time I dedicate, but she will also tell you how strict I am. Everybody that knows me know I am strict with my time. Don't make a joke of my time when you get my time and then you misconstrue or you misinterpret. Oh, he's this. No. I am very organized. My wife will tell you I am extremely organized. And if I talk to you because I'll be long-winded, it's because I'm dedicating that time to you. It's because I'm investing that time in you. It's not because I have that time to waste. It's because I'm investing it in you. Time is an investment. And an investment has returns that are expected. Are you with me? So when you see me cutting off individuals, if you fall in the place where I'm cutting you off, I want you to look at those persons you're connected to and recognize they are going to cause you problems that will cause me problems. And I don't want problems. How many of you get what I'm saying? Sometimes you disassociate from individuals, not only because of them, but because of who they work with. And who they work with can cause you problems. And if you foresee problems, you mitigate problems. You remove yourself from those individuals that will cause you to have problems with other individuals that you don't want to have problems with. Are you hearing me? This is being broadcast live on social media. So persons who see it, they know me and they know I am talking about them. That's their business. They need to prioritize their time. I do not play games. I have a 6-year-old son to raise. Barrister has a family and a business to run. Her Excellency Victoria has a ministry to accomplish. Doreen has a future to expect. Barrister, all of you, Bella and Flavia, all of you have something that you want to accomplish. The time is 9:15 and I'm going to go on. If you want to leave, you're free to leave. But this is now my time. All of you have something you want to accomplish. And if you tolerate people that don't respect your time, they don't respect protocol, and they have a bunch of individuals that they're not reliable. You can't rely on them. You need to get rid of them. I'm talking to you. This is not a Christian conversation. Oh, you must be tolerant. You must be patient. You must be forbearing and long-suffering. This is not one of those conversations. You are managing your life and your brand. You are given an account of stewardship of your time and how you manage it. And if you tolerate fools in your management skills, then you will have foolish results. And persons will look at you and call you a fool, and it will be nothing to do with you. It will be to do with you talking about being a Christian and tolerating fools. I do not suffer fools lightly. Don't look at me and say, oh, Pastor, you must be more patient. Are you joking me? Patient? Patient? Hey, my darling, I want to ask you, am I a patient person, my darling?
For the most part.
Please explain what you mean. My wife is the person that tells me, darling, you just take too long to cut off those people.
Yes, I think you have a bit more patience than I do.
A bit more, darling? Just a little bit?
Yes, sometimes a bit too much. Yes, sometimes a bit too much, but I guess it all works together for the good. So,
darling, tell me one of the places where I am too patient. You're live on social media, and the whole world is listening to you. And Barrister wants to know, and Reverend Bright wants to know, and Doreen really wants to know, and the rest of the world want to know, darling. Darling, when am I too patient? Tell the truth. Don't tell lies. So you're in class.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No, I would never tell a lie. You give people more chances than sometimes I believe that they merit. However, as I said,
wait, stop. Don't however yet. We're having a little discussion here now, a husband and wife discussion live. Darling, explain what you mean that I give more people time more than they merit. Don't say the however part. Explain that part about I give them more time than they merit. What do you mean by that?
I mean that a lot of the times people repeatedly do the same things over and over that are causing more harm than good, but you allow them for a while before you decide to let them go. And during that while, it's quite painful for me and frustrating for me. So that's what I mean when I say sometimes to give them a bit, to take a bit longer with them than I would expect you to or would have hoped you would. But again, it all works together for the good. It works itself out.
Are you hearing this? That's my wife. I live with my wife, and that's not, my wife was muttering because she didn't expect to be put on that spot, because she's the person that is there saying, darling, you can't tolerate this anymore. And I'm the person that is always saying, darling, let's work with them. Let's work with him. Let's work with her. Let's not give up. Why? Because I believe that everybody has the ability to get it right. Everybody. But I've also discovered that some individuals, they just don't get it. And when I get to the place where my wife starts to hammer me and stop, sometimes she stops talking to me about individuals. She stops. And when that individual goes on my phone, I'm telling you the truth. When that individual shows up on my phone, my wife walks out and, honey, I'm putting you on the spot. You're my wife, but I'm putting you on the spot because I want this to be known to the world. Darling, when that individual shows up on my phone, how do you feel? Tell the truth how you feel as my wife and the first lady and the administrator of our organization. How do you feel?
I just get a bit frustrated because at the end of the day, when you are finished speaking to that person or hearing what the person says or whatever the case may be, I am the one who is here with you in the aftermath of your hurt, your frustration, your pain, and all of that. And that is hurtful to me and frustrating to me. So I just sometimes can't be a part of hearing what's happening or the conversation because I just know what is going on. So I exit myself, basically.
And here's the thing that happens. I'm talking to you. You see, this is the class and this is mentoring and this is my time. You're free to go at quarter past, but you're here because this is mentoring and this is real mentoring. A lot of individuals do not understand the repercussions of their actions. And then guess what happens? While I'm counseling, while I'm mentoring, while I'm trying to save you from the organization, the situation, or whatever it is, I'm also in my house mentoring and counseling and trying to keep my wife in order as well. Are you hearing the ripple effect of lack of time management, the ripple effect of having to deal with the wrong? Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? It's a ripple effect that is horrible. It goes into people's houses, into their marriages, into their relationships. And when you tolerate individuals that allow that type of behavior, that's what you're doing. You're destroying marriages. You're destroying relationships. That's what you're doing. So I want you to start taking extremely seriously, because you might be supposed to meet somebody in 1 hour and you show up late and they're in the office for 2 hours later. And they told their wives, darling, I've just got an appointment for 1 hour. Guess what happens? Now the wife is thinking the person is a liar. Come on, somebody, or the husband. I'm talking to us. I'm hammering it because I want us to take it serious. Time management. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to hammer you anymore. I think I've flogged you enough for one night. I'm Dr. Michael Steele, and this is the class of Steele. And Olukoya, I want you to sum up this evening and just let's close. Olukoya, close us this evening. Sum up this evening with your thought, Olukoya.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And I want to also appreciate the management team and everyone in the class of Steele this evening. Thank you very much, sir, for what you have shared with us. And time. I think when you hammered on the need for us to, for example, when you are invited for a particular meeting and you are slated for 1 hour and not any fault of yours, you know, you now have 30 minutes, but in the 30 minutes, they say they've scheduled you for another 1 hour. You just use the 30 minutes that is left that you have given them. I think I understand that in a different light this evening. And, you know, for instance, you know, somebody will just call me. They just call me for a meeting and say, please, we have this talk, and please, our guest speaker will not be able to make it. Please, can you come and fill in? You know, and just because I don't want them disappointed, I will now have to reschedule all my plans and then go and attend to that. From what you have said this evening, I discovered that if one continues that way, you know, people will take you for granted and they believe that they can use you at will. And what you ought to have done, you won't be able to do it, but you'll be doing other people's errand or running other people's errand. So I think from what you have said this evening, we are the ones that will create value for our time. Because if we leave it open-ended, people will take advantage of us. And at the end of the day, the good we are trying to achieve, by being the Mr. Nice Guy, we'll end up burning ourselves out and then even reducing our own value at the end of the day. So if people understand that your time can only be scheduled for them, because that's what I'm getting from what you are saying, then they will respect you. They will not take advantage of you. And what you want to achieve, you'll be able to concentrate on those things and achieve them. But if you allow people to just jump into your life, jump into your time, at the end of the day, somebody will just be like a bus stop. So we need to place serious value on our time, because our time is our life. And we need to understand that time is not waiting for us. It's one thing that cannot be renewed. And so if we understand that, then the benefits of managing our time, we'll be able to draw and enjoy it. We'll be better organized, like you said. We'll become a better planner, a forecaster. We'll be able to reduce our stress and anxiety. And whatever we don't plan properly will affect other things. So if we fail to plan properly, there is a ripple effect. And that ripple effect does not just affect us, it can even affect our family, it can affect our work. And the most painful thing is that we don't know the people that are watching us and learning from us. So if our life is haphazard, then people will be like, what is this person doing? And people will not take us seriously, because there is more that our life is projecting if it is not organized. And we may not see it in the immediate, but people from outside that are watching us are observing our life and the way it is going. And if it is plotted on a graph, it is a very ugly sight. So I think we need to be very careful. We need to plan our time very well and set clear objectives. And when we do that, definitely we'll be able to be a success in all that we do. So I want to appreciate you, sir, for what you have passed across to us this evening. And it is my desire that we put sentiment aside and be very, very firm when it comes to time management. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you.
Thank you so very much, Olukoya. While you were speaking, class is finished, but I don't want to, I have a management team, and had it not been for the Golden Eagle, Her Excellency Victoria, His Excellency Barrister Anthony Uwechia, we would not be here. It is because of their commitment. It's because of their dedication, their time that they have given to the class of Steele, why we are here. However, we have to appreciate that when anything gets in the way that could affect our time and the commitment and dedication, we can appreciate that it would be a challenge upline. I'm sharing with you, it can be a challenge upline. Your Excellency Victoria, how was this message for you? And come on, we have to celebrate our COO, because she has shown us excellence in time. She is never late, never, ever late. Celebrate her, come on. You're never late, Your Excellency Victoria.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency, Bishop Michael Steele. I appreciate your leadership and your mentorship. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for this timely topic, which we have had tonight, which is time management. And I want to say that of a truth in the class of Steele, a lot of us that are foundation members in this class of Steele, we've learned a lot. And so many other people have equally seen that in us, sometimes in our ministries, sometimes in the community. And that is why some of them, like Reverend Lucy Abadi, she has made up her mind to be one of us. And I say, whatever you want to be, we started from the class of Steele. You will follow me to the class of Steele. And I am so glad that Reverend Lucy Abadi is here. She's a regional pastor and leader in the Church of God Mission, a great woman of God with the wholesome ministry. She's based in Calabar and in Enugu. I want to say to us tonight that our mentor is a disciplined man. Our mentor is a time-conscious man and a hard worker. He's full of integrity. And that is why some of us are here today. For example, my husband is not here, maybe because of health challenge, but he permitted me to be here because he recognizes what I draw from the class of Steele. Thank you so much, sir, for reminding us to show up on time whenever we need to show up. You have also reminded us that time is a resource. Oh yes, if we know that time is a resource, we must work towards achieving it maximally. And I want to thank you, sir, for telling us tonight that we need to be effective in our time management. We must know what we believe in, and nobody on the Jupiter of this earth should truncate our focus. And I want to submit to you, my Lord Bishop, we love your teaching, we respect your principle. We love what you are pouring into us, and the world is seeing it. Many more will come in because they saw us, and we are pointing them to the roots. The root is the class of Steele. Oh yes, that is where we are coming from, and that is what it is going to be. So once again, thank you, Jenny Steele, always at the behind the scene. Thank you for putting in so much. I'm very confident that God of heaven will surely reward you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all the management team. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Doreen. Thank you, Jenny, and everybody in the house. Thank you, Your Excellency, Apostle US. You've been a blessing to many of us. And together, we shall grow in the class of Steele. Once again, thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency Victoria Okedari, our COO. I want to, Your Excellency Bright, Golden Eagle, Barrister, don't leave us yet, because I want to come to you too, Barrister. Don't leave, Barrister. Just stay there, you're good. Your Excellency Samuel also, unmute yourself, please. Golden Eagle, I don't think I want to bring such a presentation this evening and not allow you the privilege of lending your voice to the discussion, because you are one of the pioneering fathers for the class of Steele. Yeah. And you chose individuals that you brought in for the leadership and the management. You chose them specifically. And I want you, Your Excellency, to lend your thought to this this session. This is our open discussion. Class is already completed, but this is our open discussion. Lend your voice to the discussion, Your Excellency Samuel also.
Okay, thank you so much, Bishop Dr. Your Excellency Marcus Steele. Honestly, the teaching is timely. Time management is of essence. Very, very important. Time, they said, is money. Yeah. But I see from what you taught us this night, time is not just money. Time is life. I think time is an essential commodity.
Yeah.
You don't just get it anyhow. You take time to get time. You spend time to get time. And you spend your life to get time. From what you said, from 1937 to 2020, but it's a dash in between. And the dash is very important. I remember my father-in-law went to be with the Lord at the age of 74. So I calculated all his days on earth. I discovered that this man lived for 74 years. So in the eyes of men, it's a big year. But I calculated the days. It's less than 25 years, 25,000 days on earth. Only 25,000 days on earth. So it's so pathetic. And somebody is living for 100 years. It's just about
Okay, Your Excellency, Samuel, also, you've gone muted on us. I think he's having network challenges. Okay, there's network challenges on his side. We'll wait until he returns. Your Excellency, Barrister Uwasia, could you lend your voice to the discussion this evening, please?
Thank you so immensely, our mentor, amiable mentor, Bishop Dr. Michael Anthony Steele.
Now, wait a minute. Before you say anything, Your Excellency, I know the reason why you stressed on the Anthony is because you are also called Anthony. So we can let the world know that we share the same second name, Anthony, Michael Anthony, and Anthony Uwasia. Okay, so it is out now, by Your Excellency.
Praise God. Well, I thank God for everybody in the class of Steele, the management, and all the excellencies. I thank God for our visitor that just came to join us. We go back a long way, and I'm delighted to see her in the class of Steele, Reverend Lucy Abadi. We're grateful to have you join us. God bless you. Our regards to your amiable husband. I would like also for us to know that ability to manage time is ability to live beyond time. If we can manage time, then we can live beyond time. You see, the Bible tells us to redeem the time, for the days are evil, and I would like us to know that procrastination is an enemy to time. Lack of discipline is an enemy to time. Lack of planning is an enemy to time. There are so many things. Indeed, the Bible commended the sons of Issachar, for knowing, ability to know the times and seasons. Extremely important. So I really, really thank God for you, our mentor, Bishop Steele. Many of us are falling trap to this topic, time management. And to be frank with you, I think the class of Steele deserves kudos. I wasn't this time conscious when I joined the class of Steele, but I see myself preparing ahead of time, and now I beat the time. I beat the time, seriously. And I give God the glory for using the class of Steele. So I think many of us, most of the time, what destroys us and make us go beyond or behind time has to do with procrastination. We assume we have all the time in the world. Oh, is it not the class of Steele? Is it not for 8? Is it not for 9? I still have the time. And before you know it, especially it is said that people that live closer to churches usually go late. And I'm telling you, if you watch it, it usually happens because they assume that their houses or their homes are very close to the church. I could always, I could always make it, and they end up going late. So I think if we are able to handle procrastination, if we are equally able to plan our time, who did the time? Because failure to plan is planning to fail. So once we plan ahead of time, have our whatever itemized, our program itemized. In fact, it is very, very fundamental for everybody to have like a diary. You plan, the time, because sometimes you could forget these things, but when you have a diary, you keep it, it helps you to achieve time. Praise God. So I want to thank you so much for educating us on time management. It is really, really a fundamental component of the process. I remember some time ago you taught us on the process, and you can't talk about the process without talking about time. So I really thank God for you, and I pray that we will not just be hearers of this word, of this teaching, of this interaction, but we should be doers of it, especially in Africa. That is why we today have what is called African time, and what that simply means is, if it's from 8 o'clock, you see people coming by 9 o'clock, you see people coming by 10 o'clock. It is totally unacceptable. It doesn't portray integrity. It doesn't foster discipline. So, but God will help us. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. God bless you and bless everybody in the class. The only chief in the house, talking about our COO. Who else are we talking about? Our COO, Reverend HE Ambassador, Reverend Victoria Okedare. We love her so much and we appreciate her. God bless you, sir.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Definitely. And I appreciate your contribution to this evening's class, Your Excellency. I want to ask Her Excellency Doreen Varunji. Doreen, please lend your voice to the discussion this evening, Your Excellency. And by the way, Doreen, please remember that we have another training that is going to be in another hour and 15 minutes. We have another training to attend. We're ever learning, correct, Doreen?
Yes, Doctor, yes. Good evening to you, all Your Excellencies in the house, Dr. Michael Steele, and all the members and the management team of the class of Steele. Doctor, thank you so very much for the lesson today about time, because life is all revolves around time. And so from what we have learned today, for me, what has really touched me that I keep struggling with is discipline with time. I have had to, manage my time. I program myself what time I have to start to work, what time I have to go to the gym, what time I have to meet these people, what time I confirm my meetings. And this has helped me to prioritize everything that I have to do. Even I forecast. I'm able to know what I will do the next week. So I have also learned to be bold, to say, I cannot see you. I am busy right now. And so I am confident because of time. And just to add on that, yes, I have let down people. If somebody comes late, if we have confirmed 1 hour and somebody comes late, like 30 minutes, I don't have anything to discuss with them because I will not complete what I'm going to say to them. my question to you, doctor, is if I have an appointment with you and say, for example, in 2 hours, how much time should I give, or how much time should you give me to be able to communicate that I will be late so that I can have enough time with you? How much time?
Well, here's the thing. Time is divided into, if we have to look at the other dynamic, time is divided into relationship. All right. And you look at the dynamic. My wife, if I'm talking to you, Doreen, as important, or His Excellency Barrister, to be quite honest, or even the President of the United States of America, and my wife requests my time, let me be very upfront with you. I will say to the President, please excuse me, I cannot not take this call. This is critical. This is important. And if I need to apologize to somebody to fit in my wife, then that will happen. I'm getting to your question. Now, if I'm with regards to you, Doreen, you're one of my students. I mentor you, and you and I have a commitment that is not only based on time, it is based on relationship and long-term objectives. So as a result of those dynamics, it is important that you could call me 5 minutes and says, Doc, I can't see you. You can call me 5 minutes because me and you are on a different level. So it depends on the level of intimacy that you have with who you're dealing with. Are you getting what I'm saying? If I'm dealing with His Excellency Barrister Uechi, or even His Excellency Donald Ewers, I know that I can, if I have an appointment with His Excellency Donald and I'm not able to make it, if he's going to meet me and it's going to take him an hour or 2 hours to get there, I can't call him 5 minutes and tell him I'm not going to be there. Come on, somebody. You get what I'm saying? I have to call him within the time I know it's going to take him to get there, to say, oh, Minister Ewers, I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to get there today. So I would even have to call him like 2 or 3 hours before he even leaves home. So it depends. You have to structure it professionally and respectfully. If you know that you're supposed to meet me in London and it takes me 2 hours to get to the destination, Doreen, please call me and tell me you are going to be late. Don't call me and tell me you can't make it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
It's all about looking at the dynamics that are involved. If you have to meet me in 1 hour and you can't meet with me in that hour, and it's 10 minutes that you realize, Doreen, you're free to call me and say, hey, Your Excellency Bishop, Doctor, I can't call you now. Let me speak with you in 2 hours, or can we reschedule? So it all depends. So have that confidence in the relationship you are building. But the most important attribute of that relationship is integrity. That's important. If you're going to be 15 minutes late, say you're going to be 15 minutes. As a matter of fact, when I'm going to be 15 minutes late, I actually, to be quite honest with you, tell people it's going to take me 20 minutes. I'll be very honest with you. If I know I'm going to get there in 10 minutes, I says, could you kindly give me at least 20 to 25 minutes, please? Why? Because I know that I'm going to get there within 10 minutes, but if perchance I'm a little bit later, I've covered for it. Are you with me? Have that answered your question, Your Excellency?
Yes, Doctor, thank you. Also, there is another way through which one can communicate about time. I may not specifically speak to you, but I can send you a message. And I tell you that, Dr. Michael Steele, I will make an effort to speak to you at 10. What does that mean, Doctor, to you?
If you say you will make an effort, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me, because I think one of the things that you have to appreciate about time management, yes, you are in control. Please identify this. You are in control. If it is dependent on, I'm going to talk to you if I hear Joe, you have to specify that so that you don't create the environment to the individual that you're not a person that can make decisions by yourself. You have to show authority, command authority. Don't tell you, I might be able to speak with you in 10 minutes. Don't do that. Sorry, I might be able to speak to you at 10 o'clock. What you create the environment is, can I speak to you at 10 o'clock? Now, Doreen, I don't know if you're hammering me. So Doreen, tell me if you're hammering me for any of my own misdemeanors, because I'm getting challenged in my mind. So Doreen, tell me if you're challenging me in any area that I have fallen short.
No, it's me. I used this with the First Lady. I told her I will make an effort to attend that lady's class. So I don't know what I meant to, what she understood by that. That's why I brought it up in the class of Steele.
Anytime you say you'll make an effort, that's acceptable. Now you've explained the scenario. You'll make an effort because you're not committed and you want to show up, you want to be there, but circumstances might create an environment where you're not able to be. So that's acceptable. Okay. That's acceptable.
So what is the response from the person that I've sent the message? Does he wait in case I have to appear in person? Does the person wait or he decides to reschedule? What?
Oh, no, Doreen. Doreen, if you have an appointment that is just you and Barrister, for example, you cannot say to Barrister, I'm going to make an effort to be there, and Barrister is in McDonald's waiting for you. I say to Barrister, I'm going to make an effort to be there. Come on now. Come on now. Am I making sense what I'm trying to say? And you can't do that. If Barrister has a meeting with 10 individuals and you are supposed to be in the meeting, you're not on the schedule or you don't have to do anything, and you say, I will make an effort to show up, that's acceptable because you're not wasting Barrister's time. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So in an environment where it's and that's why I'm saying be very specific, because you don't want to say one dynamic creates the environment for all scenarios. You create an environment where every single dynamic is different. Okay, every dynamic is different. So therefore, you make sure you look at the situation. If it's a church meeting, for example, you know, the church doesn't depend on you unless you're a speaker. So saying I will make an effort to show up is fine. That's okay. And if you don't show up, apologize for not showing up. But if you have to speak in his service, you can't say that. And do you get the dynamics of what I'm trying to convey? You can't do that.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
All right. Any other questions, Doreen? You're challenging the class. Everybody's listening. So go on. Any other questions?
No, I'm just adding to what has blessed my life is consider time and its management a habit. That one is very important. You combine it with discipline first, then it becomes a habit. So to get to a habit, it's a process. It's not an easy thing. You might score fast, you might make 90%. As you go on, then you go down, the curve goes down. Then you go up, you have to be looking at how you're performing. So for you to progress, you need to have a curve that you see that you are growing in what you're doing. And you even say that you have to list down your daily's activity or weekly activity and the time. So you must have a graph to see how you're performing. Have you achieved all of them? And are you consistent? You said we have to always be stickers. So are we persistent? So to get to that point is really hard work, really, really hard work, because there are so many people that you're not going to meet. There are so many calls that you will not receive that have been taking a lot of your time. There are certain things you're not going to attend to on television. So you are heading yourself to success. there you're getting to success. And that is what has made me to be now. Thank you, Dr. Michael Steele. Thank you so much. It wasn't easy for me.
You're welcome. Come on, let's celebrate, Doreen. Well done. Thank you for your contribution to the world, because you see, people see the class of Steele and this audience, and I want you to see something. I want you to see the whole world is watching you. If you look at, it's just Dr. Steele that I'm showing up late for, I want you to stretch yourself beyond that. The world is watching you. The world is watching the class of Steele, and we have to represent what we want the world to see, not what we want one person to see that we're going to apologize to that person in a text message. It's the whole world. So thank you for that contribution as well. I want to, I see that our guest, Lucy Abadi, has remained with us. Can I kindly ask if you're willing to lend your voice to the discussion this evening, if you would be willing to do so at the invitation of Her Excellency Victoria O.K. Dyer. Lucy Abadi, would you lend your voice to the discussion? I see you're unmuted.
Yeah, I first of all want to thank God for the privilege to be here. And I thank God for Her Excellency, Mommy Victoria Okedare, for inviting me to be part of this great family. Thank you so much. God bless you. And Your Excellency, your teaching this night on time management is I call it a bomb. It's a bomb because when we apply it to our daily living, it's really going to create a great sense of responsibility in us and portray us as people that are well cultured, well mannered, well disciplined, and I think I appreciate you so much. I don't regret every bit of my time here, and I tell you, anytime, the next time we are going to be here, I will be the first person to be on board. I will be the first person to be on board, because I see when you keep to time, you put yourself in the class of great people, in the class of people with serious mind, in the class of people that are willing to be efficient and effective in all that they are set to do. In fact, I so much thank you, so much thank you. I wish I can have a blueprint of this teaching. I don't know. Let me do like Oliver Twist. I want to go through it more and more and more and more. So I don't know if I can drop my email, and then maybe I have a copy of it so I can also go over it again and again and again. It's really a bomb. Thank you, sir.
Well, I have done better than that for you. The teaching that I just did is actually available on YouTube, and the link is right there. It is live, so even your people will hear you in the teachings. So if you want to say anything to your people, you can say it to them now, because they will hear it in the broadcast. So I give way to you to speak to them right now, because the link is a YouTube that you can share with them. Please share with your people what you would like to say to them.
Well, thank you so much. I didn't really know it's on YouTube, and now that I know, I will share it, and I share it. And trust me, trust God, I'm going to invite the next time, if I have the permission to bring in more people, I'm going to invite people to join this family, because it's people with serious mind that are here. And I think all we need to know and all we need to be is for us to be serious minded in all that we are set to do. Even God that created us in his own image, has been a serious-minded being. And that is why me and you are here today. That is why when there was nothing on earth, things suddenly appeared, because God kept to time. God was serious in what he was set to do. And then we are created in his own image, and he's expecting us to follow suit. And first of all, I'm going to introduce this to my husband, and then my church people, and as many friends that I have around me. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you, sir, and every member of this great family. The class of Steele is a great place to belong. It's a great place to belong, because when you are serious in all that you are set to do, you have a lot to achieve. You'll be successful in whatsoever you are set to do. You will be successful, because when it's just a great place to belong. And I invite everybody to be part of what God is doing here through our great coach, our great mentor. Thank you so much. Reverend Barrister Uweche, thank you so much. And every member of the family, you are all blessed in Jesus' name.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for your endorsement. I have added the Facebook for the class of Steele on Facebook, so you will find our class there. And equally, when you go on the YouTube link, you will also see all of our videos. As a matter of fact, in the next coming weeks, we will be having the launch for our 1-year anniversary, and we have over 80 videos that will be shown to those persons who are members of the class of Steele. There are over 80 plus videos that we have recorded and kept copious notes of all of our teachings, so members will not miss anything. So again, thank you so very much, and you are very welcome. I want to ask His Excellency Donald Ewers, our Chief of Protocol. And by the way, please appreciate that time has gone for class, but because of our online audience, I'm giving individuals the opportunity to speak to those who are watching and listening online, to hear the questions and concerns and answers. So again, thank you for your patience, but I'm just allowing our online audience to experience what we deal with and what we discuss in the class of Steele. Your Excellency Donald Ewers, please go ahead and share your comments.
Yes, Your Excellency, Dr. Steele, and the family of the ambassadors, I greet you all. Yes, sir, the good time management is my taking on that was time is tight and the pressure can be high. If you don't have good time management in time, as was it Doreen was talking regarding time, making appointments, and when you don't comply with the time, you put pressure on yourself. Can you imagine you're going for an interview and you have to be there at certain time? You have trains that are delayed or canceled. You have the bus, or you didn't turn up. Or in England, in the UK where we are, you have the weather. And we don't put any time structure in place. And you have to go for an interview. Can you imagine the pressure that you're putting yourself under? So the time, what you're talking, enable you to work smarter, enable you to be more focused and not harder, but to be, time is precious. Time is very precious. And one little testimonial I would like to give, that many, many years ago, when my kids were baby, we run out, my wife said, we run out of milk. I look at the time of the closure of the supermarket. By the time it was 5 minutes before the supermarket, you're laughing, Bishop. 5 minutes before the supermarket was closed for me to get milk for the young baby. When I reached there, the door was closed. I plead, I beg, I went on my knees. Please, sir, the security man opened the door and I beg. He said, sorry, sorry, sorry. The time is closed for 8 o'clock. And I was there exactly 8 and he would not open that door. And so when you talk about time, it is a precious thing. It is not to joke about. Time is so precious, Bishop, and you've really highlighted this thing about time, not just only for the class of Steele, but for our everyday life. Time for getting up in the morning for work. Can you imagine you go to work late? You can get the sack from going to work late constantly. Can you imagine time coming into church and you're a minister and a leader? If you're a pastor and a bishop and you don't know time, people don't take you serious because you have no integrity. I'm one of the, and Bishop Steele, I can say one of the things why I'm working with you, sir. I am one of those time men. I like somebody with time. 13 years I work on the streets of London feeding the homeless. I put an advert out in my local paper for volunteers to work with me. And this white chap came, we talked, he went back to his church, White Baptist Church, and I had 4 people from their church and a van they offered me. You know, the Bible talk about destiny helpers. I started off with nothing when I'm feeding the homeless. And that would take me another whole day to go through telling you about my journey and my testimony. And those 4 people from the White Baptist Church, the pastor gave a van and 4 people. And before I close and move from London to Birmingham where I live now, they said to me, Donald, the reason why we stayed with you is because of time. Please don't take this offensive, but Black people don't know time. This was what the Caucasian said to me, and I smiled. So I can say, ambassadors, friends, brother, sister, when it comes on time, people take it very serious. It is not something to play about with. Time is precious. There's a time, Ecclesiastic chapter 3, a time to play, a time to sing, a time to gather stone, a time to mourn, a time to laugh. There's everything under the sun with time. It is not to joke about. So when we have our time, I look forward to come to the class of Steele and our mentor. You are doing a very good job enhancing, enabling us, encouraging us, and where we are slackening up, to tighten up our belts and to be focused, to grow in the grace of God, to have wisdom. If you ever been through pastoral training, a part of pastoral training as well, they bring that up in it as well with timing, how you to present yourself and how to be on time, because you can take away your integrity, the time to go there. And another thing, what is highlight in pastoral work, preaching. Give yourself time in preaching. Don't be long-winded because you lose the people. Don't keep going on and on and on. And some of us, we have to get it. This is the 24th century. My daughters, they're all been to university. And when they come to when they come to the churches and they sit down, they say, Dad, I can't deal with your generation without long-winded preaching. Time. Just go to the point and you can deliver your sermon and hit home about salvation and about the love of God and accepting Christ. Time. Everything we do in this world is time. Even to go to our bed, it's time. When you wake up in the morning, it's time. The animals, for those of us in the Caribbean and a hot country in Africa, you hear the cockadoodle crowing early hours in the morning. That's how they never used to have clocks. The cocks start crowing, you know, their time, the break of day. It's becoming 5, 6 o'clock. You hear the fowls outside crowing, time to get up.
Your Excellency, I'm hearing a preach coming on.
You're getting me warm up, sir. So, sir, you get us all warmed up. I mean, normally class of Steele is finished from 9:15. Now it's 10:10, and we're still going on because the time is so sweet. It is so precious, sir. And I know you're just giving a taste us to express ourselves about time manager. But, sir, well done. And we receive it and we receive it. And we're doing a great job. Bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. Come on, let's celebrate our chief of protocol. Come on, let's celebrate him. And these evenings, these times, I'm going to let you be aware that we have decided, my wife and I have had discussions about allowing individuals the opportunity to speak to our international audience, because no longer is the class of Steele just us, but the class of Steele is an international audience of individuals who are not going to be able to join us and come and sit with us. So this section and this aspect of the class of Steele is a new development that is going to happen in the new year, where we will be having open discussions. For those who are on Wi-Fi and those who have the ability to join us, you're very welcome. I know that there are individuals who use their phone data and they don't have the ability to do that. But I want you to appreciate that the individuals who really want to share their views and give their thoughts, and I want to give way for those individuals to have that opportunity. So bear with us, and anytime you want to say goodnight or drop out, you know, you're free to do that. It wouldn't be any offense at all, because we are just kind of keeping those who are watching our stream knowing what we're doing and where we're going. Reverend Daniel Supuru, you are an elder, and I just want you to lend your voice. Flavia, I'm going to come to you next if you are still available. But Reverend Daniel, please give your voice to the discussion.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. His Excellency, Dr. Michael Steele. I also want to say thank you for, to everyone that is here participating. Time. What you said this evening is very, very important to us. I wanted to comment on African time. Our Wiche actually commented on that. Obviously, in this part of the world, you'll find out that people talk about African time. You hardly see people show up in time. They would always talk about African time. And with what we have heard tonight, and of course, what I have thought since, is that people of integrity don't keep African time, but rather time is time. And once it is time, it is time. My wife and I were invited to Enugu, to a church in Enugu to preach. And we went there very much on time, but we didn't see the pastor. We didn't see the pastor of the church. And it was so disheartening that the pastor came up when it was just about 5 minutes for them to call me up to speak. And after the service, I met the pastor and said that that wasn't good at all. And the members of the church had been complaining about that pastor, that he would come late to everything. And there is no integrity in that at all. I want to say thank you very much for what you have told us tonight. And you also said that to effectively manage our time, we must know where it goes where the time goes. And that simply means that in all activities we have in the day, for instance, we must fix time. We must allocate time to our activities. And once we do this, I believe that we would be very, very wonderful managers of time. And it is my prayer that the Lord will always make me be on time in whatever appointment I have. Because that is the only thing that will make one know that one is a person of honor and a person of integrity. So thank you for what you have said. And I would not forget to express my thanks to your First Lady. Obviously, I want to say that that woman is a very observing woman. She observes you very well, observes the members of the class, and I praise her because whenever she speaks, she obviously she makes our day because she has no iota of hypocrisy in her. And I just want to thank God for that. So I know that she is hearing me right now, but I would ask His Excellency Dr. Michael Steele to take my thanks to her. And that would be very wonderful. Thank you very much. And I want to say good night to all of us in the class of Steele. God bless you all. I am Reverend Dr. Daniel Sokoro. Thank you.
Darling, would you please respond to Reverend Daniel, darling?
Reverend Daniel, thank you so very much for your kind words. I am humbled and I appreciate them very much.
Thank you.
I just wanted you to know that she's there just managing Joshua behind the scenes. That's why her camera is not on. But trust me, she is in every single class that we have. And Reverend Daniel, I look forward to seeing you, Olukoya, Doreen, and His Excellency yours in class tonight. I hope you guys don't forget we have class in I think in about 45 minutes. Flavia, saving you, my dearest. Flavia, please greet us and give us your thoughts. And we're getting ready to close this session of our open discussion this evening. Go ahead, Flavia, give us your thoughts.
Okay, good evening, class. I'm so grateful to be part of this session tonight. I can't stop thanking God for this night. Yeah, about time. I never want to talk about the African time because it really disgusts me. And like, I don't want to talk about it because you have a meeting and you know it's 9 o'clock and someone is not yet around and expects you I never give respect to them, whether they are, I don't care whether you're a minister or something. I never care about someone who doesn't respect time. I would actually whisper you it into your ear, be like, actually, you're late. because I've met like many big people who keep time. So I've always wondered why like subordinates actually don't keep time when their masters do keep time. So when I meet a subordinate and he's late, I'm like, actually, you're late and your boss was here before you. And yet I needed to meet you. So I always have to whisper it. Then I've had experiences with time, how I got to learn about respecting time. One, I had just finished my Form 6 and I wanted to do some work. So I applied for something and they were calling us for an interview. So I walked up late. I didn't know what it was, but I had shared it with my brother's wife. So she came and I'm like, Flavia, you're still here. You don't know that interviews start in time? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, no, forget about the African time. Interviews do start in time. So I was like, now what do I do? She's like, you're already late. So I'm like, no, I have to go because I needed to bring a feedback back to my brother. So I just rushed. I went. I reached there. Actually, I found everyone in the interview. And deep in her, she knew I had missed. So when I came back, I had to lie to her. I'm like, I did the interview. So she's like, how was it? I'm like, it was fine. But deep in me, I was lying. I didn't do the interview. But I was young. So from that time, I really realized about like keeping time in everything we do is the key. It is the discipline. It is the character. It is the integrity that we talk about. You cannot ban integrity. You cannot say you're an integrity person when actually you don't keep time. Time is part of discipline. Then we had another experience. It was 2014 under Obama administration. I was invited in Morocco. We had a conference of Global Entrepreneurs Association, and I had to attend. So, but they hadn't given us really directions of the. I didn't know it was where the summit was going to be. Then the youth, where the youth was going to have the we are going to have their summit first. So I went to the main summit before, and I didn't know the time when I was supposed to present at the youth summit. So I go to the main summit, I attend the women's summit. Then somehow I think it was only God who helped me. I meet an Egyptian lady and she about how she had a present to the presentation of the youth. Please give me directions because I'm supposed to be at the summit, at the youth summit. I thought it was here and I have a presentation too. So she directs me. I get a cab guy. He takes me to the University of Morocco where I was supposed to have the summit. So when I got there, it was only good, but I was off time because I didn't know. So when I got at the gate, I found actually an American lady who welcomed me, and she's like, who are you? I'm like, I'm Flavia. And she's like, we've been waiting for you for the last 1 hour. And actually, someone is on call. Someone called in Washington and said, you have to be here in 1 hour's time. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know about the place. So the fact that someone was on phone and he is like, don't worry about Flavia. She knows what she's doing. I'm sorry, this organization came from me and she's not alone, but the fact that she's already in the place, let's give her a chance. She must present. So I didn't know actually who was even on the phone. I didn't know anything. So I just entered and they told me, you're going to present after the other presentation because you were supposed to present an hour ago. But they did it because it was also their problem. But if it was my problem alone, they wouldn't have helped me. Yeah. So time, I survived with time because both of us had a problem. So I entered and presented. And I think the reason I presented, I had already presented at our embassy here. And the person who was calling them, whom I don't know, you know how the American system works. You wouldn't know actually how things are working, but you're in there, you're in space, but you're delivering. So when I got there, they're like, okay, Flavia, you're welcome. Like everyone knew me in the room and they were waiting for me. They're like, okay, Flavia, you're going to present because we really need to hear from you because we have been told a lot of things about you, so you need to present. So I went, I just walked to the podium and I started a presentation. They're like, actually, we have even lost it in our presentations. I'm like, don't mind, I have everything in my head. So I started presenting. They gave me only 3 minutes to pitch. And in 2 minutes point, I think 9 something, I was done. So everyone's like, oh my God, that's well done, because we're like 2 from the African continent, from Uganda, Kenya, and I think from Zimbabwe and South Africa. So I was representing the region. So after presenting in 2 point something minutes, the person who was actually supervising us was more like, he was touched, he was encouraged, he was so proud of me. He couldn't believe that actually I could do this, like under the pressure, under what was happening to me, but I could deliver it in time. And after the session, they told me, we are happy that you came and you presented in time. When it comes to business, when it comes, it is time. You can't run away from it. Then another problem I got with time, it was here. I was supposed to meet the American embassy had brought in a new well affairs personnel, and they wanted her to meet the youths that are under the program. And they said, the first person you're going to meet is Flavia. She's our younger entrepreneur in the program. So they give me 11 o'clock. I don't know how my head read it. It was 12 o'clock. So I knew I cannot go to the embassy and now I go, because you must get there in like 20 minutes before or 30 minutes. So you go through the protocol, the checking in and everything. So I got there at 11:30, yet I would have been there at 10:30 to do that. So I went through everything. I was checked in. I came to the secretary, and she's like, "Oh, Flavia, sorry, the secretary, the lady you're supposed to meet is in another meeting, so you cannot meet her today." So I'm like, "You mean I can't wait?" Like, no, your schedule was at 11 o'clock. So she's not around. She's actually meeting other people. And I mean, she was already meeting like the ministers in that country. She couldn't meet me. So that's how I fell out the appointment. And we just had to meet later after some weeks of the dinner. And I had to introduce myself. She's like, "Oh, sorry, but it happened." So yeah, so time really, and we really need to know exactly the people we are working with, the people we are dealing with when it comes to time, because you will not treat someone, you will not treat your fellow how you treat your fellows in the country who come 30 minutes after the appointment, 1 hour, like the other people. We have different cultures and different timings. So you will not, however much a white man might not be serious, because sometimes they're also not serious, but they're always serious with time. And we really have to appreciate that. Yeah, so really we have to really learn time. Every leader, any leader must know time, must respect time. Even if you're meeting the president, you must meet the time. Like the same session I was talking about in Morocco, the next day I was supposed to meet the vice president in the same session. But because they had not given us the direction, we're supposed to meet him at 9:45 after launching the summit. So when he got out, the people to take us came late. So when we entered and met Joe Biden, who is the current president, we didn't present because the time had gone. Yeah, so time is time. We really have to know time. Even if the person who is taking you through doesn't know actually what you're supposed to do, because like most of the protocol, some people do not know actually what you're supposed to do. So you will have to, like, I have to do this at this time. Please help me. I have to do this at this. You have to keep reminding them so that you don't get out of the time you were given. So that's what I can share with you about time. We really have to respect time. Thank you so much for that topic. I'm really grateful.
Come on, let's celebrate Flavia. And let me tell you why I'm specifically celebrating Flavia. Flavia does not speak this much. Flavia is coming out of her shell. I was so pleased to hear you speak. I was just sat here like, wow. Well done, Flavia. Well done. I'm so proud of you. You're doing the class of Steele proud. And I celebrate you. And I celebrate something that is really special as well, is that you are not ashamed of your errors to help others to understand the problems that errors can cause, because that's very important. You mentioned that you had a very important meeting, and we're not going to go into some of the nature of who some of the persons in the class of Steele are that we mentor. But the interesting thing is when we have to meet presidents and kings and great leaders, we only get 3 minutes and 5 minutes to present. After that time, those people don't want to hear us anymore, because those persons know they would pay thousands for us to just speak for 2 minutes. Because if you cannot present in that time, then you know you've lost your opportunity. So that's really important. Flavia, thank you so very much for sharing. Bishop Dr. Comfort, I saw you came into class late, and I know you know that we have training in the next couple of minutes, and I hope that you remember you're available. But Bishop Dr. Comfort out of Ghana, you will be our last speaker, because I want to close this session this evening. Kindly give us your take on time this evening.
Thank you, His Excellency Bishop Dr. Michael Steele, and all the excellencies on board. I greet you all, and it's a privilege to be on this program. Actually, I was checking on my WhatsApp page to see whether there is going to be a class, because I knew there should be a class, but I was not seeing the link. So just that I was busy doing other things, I think the link came on. So I just came around trying to put things on before the next class. And I saw it, wow. So what do I do? Do I stay out, or should I join in? It will be an embarrassment. But then I had to, because I have to be here. So you pardon me. And we are talking about time. And what I have, my take on time is that even if you have messed up with time, try to make it. As the Bible says that we must redeem the time. The time is not like a cloth or something you can just cut and put on. But when you say that you must redeem the time, it means all that is lost, you must try to recoup it, do it in another way, so that you catch up with what should be done. And my mind takes me up to, I have two instances I want to share because of time. The first time I traveled out to South Africa, and we were told that from our place where we lost at Utnage, from there we have to take a bus to Joburg at Port Elizabeth, PE. And we were told that their bus time is time. It's not like other countries like Ghana and other places. When it is time, it will move. And unfortunately, on the road, our vehicle broke down. We were just watching our watch, looking at time. We couldn't do anything. And I think the Lord help us. You know, we have to work with our wisdom. This thing that I'm sharing is about 2 decades ago, the year 2000. That was the time I was in the Reverend. When we go to, lo and behold, when we go to Port Elizabeth, at its PE, we saw that the bus was on scale. That is what we call it. It was about to leave, and the engine was on. So I was the first person who entered. We were about nine meters. I entered, and I put my luggage on the bus, and immediately I got down and rushed to the washroom. And I heard them calling me, come back, there's washroom in the bus. But I knew my colleagues were coming. So when I joined the bus would take off. So I pretended it was wrong, though, but sometimes, you know, remember there was a time David had to pretend as if he was mad. Simply because, yes, the story of David, he pretended to be mad so that he'll be able to pass on at the king's place as somebody who is not well, so that they can leave him. So I said, what can I do? In the bus, no, let me get down. in the bath and we'll go to the washroom, as if I don't know that there's a washroom on the bus so that my people can get in. So when I came back, lo and behold, they are in, they are on the bus. I said, Lord, forgive me, but this is all that I've become. I did not learn my lesson. When I came back in some couple of weeks, and I had a call that I have to go for a course in Denmark. And I went there. I'm good at seven people. So one of the days we were supposed to travel around the country, doing some course course on conservation. We conserve books. I was working at the Public Records and Archives Administration Department, and we do book binding, and we are supposed to be there and then learn how to handle books and how to make paper and the rest. So we were going all around the country, and our leaders have bought tickets with time. I didn't understand, I didn't know it at that time. And the morning that we were leaving, I said, oh, mostly at the end of the week, I prepare something. And then when I do a morning devotion or I share the word of God with those around, then I give them food to eat. And that morning too, I was preparing, and one of the people came around. He happens to be a cousin of mine. He said, Reverend, I thought I was Reverend. You have to go. When the bus comes and leaves, you'll be in trouble because they have scheduled the whole program. It's about 2 weeks. Then what happened was that I quickly finished. And when I got down, the bus was gone. And all my colleagues, about 5 of them, they have all left with our leaders. I said, Lord, what do I do? Then immediately I turned my back and I saw my cousin. He has been there a couple of times and he knows the routes. He said, come on, let us go to the next lane and take the bus there. I thank God for that day. I don't know what would have happened. I would have spoiled the whole schedule for the school. So I took the bus. And lo and behold, when I touched the railway where we have to take our next vehicle, they were also touching the ground. And they were saying, oh, Reverend, no, Reverend, oh, Reverend, we thought you were going to spoil our day. And I said to myself, if because of time you are not able to make it, it will be a very devastating sin. And I thank God and I praise the Lord for that. Since then, I know that you do what you are supposed to do at time and at any time what you are supposed to do. Meaning that if you are supposed to do cooking and you have to do washing and it is time for you to do cooking, just leave the washing and do the cooking because there is time for everything. That's what Ecclesiastes says. There's time for everything. And when in the midst of it, you find out that you have messed up with time, pray out, ask the Lord to help you to redeem the time. Because if you don't redeem the time, what is lost, you cannot recoup it. This is what I have for this evening. Thank you so much.
Come on, let's celebrate our elder, please. Let's celebrate our elder. We love you so much, Mommy. We appreciate you. And I thank God for the class of Steele that we have government officials at the highest level. And if you're going to be ambassadors and you're going to be trained, you have to appreciate time is important. And that's what I want to prepare all of you who are coming onto the class of Steele to be globally relevant. If you don't understand these little tools, that's why I take the time to allow individuals to share because it's important. As many examples as you get, you recognize it's not a joke. Dr. Steele is not a person who is trying to behave as if he wants people to be like him. It's not about being like me. It is about being professional. It is about being an individual that international leaders and organizations can count on you to be knowing how to operate with international protocols and guidelines. And interestingly, Flavia, you said something very important about individuals who you do not know who they are that recommend you, because you don't know who is watching you. There are persons that I recommend in governments. There are person I recommend in high circles. Minister Ewers knows what we do. And individuals don't even know it was us, but it's not about telling them it was us. It's about getting them to the next level. But it is up to you to show up and do what you're supposed to do with integrity. We have a class that is happening in the next couple of minutes. I will allow this class to go on really long, unusually, but I think that you will get your benefit from what the class of Steele is all about and what we're trying to share this evening. I'm Dr. Michael Steele and my beautiful wife, Jeannie, and the management team of the class of Steele. We thank you so very much for being with us. Reverend Lucy Abadi, we thank you so very much for being with us this evening. We appreciate your time, and we hope that you look back at being with us again. Our classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the same time. So if you follow us on YouTube or on any of our social platforms, you will find that at that exact moment, we will be there. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when classes are available, and we are going to be streaming those classes. When that time comes, you will see us on time. I'm Dr. Michael Steele. Thank you so very much for being with us. Good night and God bless you. Doreen, Minister Ewers, Olukoya, and Bishop Comfort, I look forward to seeing you in the next couple of minutes in class. See you guys soon. Good night and God bless.